this night without doing that top 5 I just saw from Thomas. And definitely another crazy ass thinker. Because I remember you did for the monsters and probably slashers, but for this one, it's the top 5 least talked about monsters or boogeymen. Great subject. Wow. Had me reeling through my collection, and I couldn't even. My collection didn't have the pics I wanted, so except for one, only one. It's actually the number one. That's the only DVD I had for the least favorites, or least talked about. It's a favorites, but least talked about ones that don't get talked about too much. So at number 5. Yeah. Grizzly from 1976. Now, I remember reading the actual book for this before I watched the movie, and I was like, didn't even know there was a movie after I read the book, and I remember seeing the movie in the video store, watched it. Wow, that was a fucking low budget, fucking crazy movie. It's a grizzly bear gone crazy, so basically it's like a monster, because the grizzly bear is so fucking huge. It is like a monster if something like that ever happened. So that was, yeah, that's a crazy ass horror movie, by the way. Animal horror for you, a little bit of comparison to Jaws. I think that's when the whole Jaws thing actually, like Jaws and Orca and Grizzly. But Grizzly is the least talked about of those 3. And it's very rarely talked about anyways. But that was my number 5. Number 4, from the movie Nightmares, which is a horror anthology. It's the one with the video game, and the monster that comes out of the video game is called the Bishop of Battle. Yeah, that was the only picture I found out from it out of the video game. I wanted to find a picture with it and Emilio Estevez, who was in the story, Thomas. Don't know if you've ever seen this. It's a great horror anthology. Really, it's pretty low budget, but 3, I think it's 3 stories, 3 or 4 stories, and all just awesome. The effects are cheesy, but it's great stories. Like, first story is like an urban legend. Killers in the backseat of the car. I think that was the second story, the video game one, where Emilio Estevez is playing the video game, and the video game basically gets a mind of its own, and the monster, the big friggin' head, comes out of the machine, and it goes after him. And he's fighting this big fucking monster video game head in the streets, in the parking lot, and all that. It's pretty crazy. So that's number 4. Number 3 is from 1976. By the way, Nightmares is from 1983, if I didn't mention. From another one from 1976. Alice, Sweet Alice. Yeah, this is the boogeyman part, which is a little bit not, because, well, it's a type of slasher, which is boogeyman. That's what you're getting at, and it's least talked about. But the crazy thing is, the boogeyman slasher in it is a kid. hoping that's the one I'm thinking of. It's like the girl is the killer, I think. I'm pretty sure. If you haven't seen Alice, Sweet Alice, I just told you the movie, but sorry. Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. Remember the girl? Yeah, she was in it, and she was slasher. The boogeymen, and it's a rare movie that doesn't get talked about too much. So, here we go. So that was number 3. Number 2 is Cat People from 1982. There's an original Cat People, I think from the 1960s. That was not too bad, but I really liked the one from 1982 with Malcolm McDowell and the European girl. She's half naked throughout the movie anyway, but the Cat People, yeah, they turn into monsters. Like half human, half, what is it? Do they actually turn into the cougars? The black cougars or whatever it is? Black Panther? I can't remember. I think they're like half and half or something. I remember them changing over, but anyway, they're monsters and they go friggin' nuts. Malcolm McDowell is awesome as usual in it. And that's number 2. And number 1, the only one I have in my collection, from 1981, the circus freak monster from the Funhouse. Yes, that's a 4-pack, by the way. You've seen Phantasm and all that, but I'm talking about the Funhouse with the circus freak. Funhouse does not get, it's been recently reborn with this 4-pack, and it's getting talked about quite a bit now because of this, but before it never did, and that's why I'm choosing it, because, but there he is at the back. That's the circus freak. He's the boogeyman, the monster in that one. And there you go, Thomas. That's my top 5 for you. I think I came up with some pretty original stuff there. I hope. It's stuff that's rarely talked about. I dug deep, and I couldn't find, they're not even in my collection, but I just remembered them. Anyway, there you go, Thomas. Top 5. Least talked about monsters or boogeyman. Rock you later.